Hello, everybody. It's Heather Nichols here. Let's talk today about being needless. This was an energy that I was introduced to in a conversation that I was introduced to many years ago. And I was so curious the first time I heard this word and went, what is that? Needless. That sounds like something that would be really cool to have, to be. And at the time, that was not my reality. I had a lot of points of view that I needed a lot of things in a lot of ways from a lot of people and from the universe and all of that. But I looked at the energy and I went, wow, if I actually was needless, I would have so much freedom. I would actually have dangerous levels of freedom. And as I explored the conversation, I was part of a beautiful telecall series with Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, called The Elegance of Needless. And this was, I think it was in maybe 2017. It is in the Access Consciousness shop if you're interested in finding that. It was really a life-changing conversation for me to explore in depth in a really different way the elegance of being needless and what that creates and what it allows us to be, how much it allows us to relax. And what are the things that it's an energy that I continue to explore because need it's so dominant in our world. There's so many lies of need that people have. And one of the things that it's allowed me to do is really get out of that conversation and into something that feels way more spacious and relevant and real and true for me. And one of the things that is very much a part of like stepping into the energy, the art, the elegance of being needless is the recognition that we are cared for. We are cared for. And it may not feel that way, There's we all have like history, we have points of view, we have emotions, we have feelings, we have, proof positive in this reality every single day in our lives that we're not cared for, And yet, if you also look into a different part of the universe, you will see, if you have the courage to look there and stay there and perceive the subtle energies and perceive a different reality that may be more true for you as an infinite being. What's occurred for me is I've started to see, wow, I am so cared for. And that doesn't mean that everything shows up the way that I want it to all the time. It doesn't mean that I am, always going to be like exactly what I desire is going to be there when I think I need it or would like to have it. But it's an energy of like, wow, there's a much bigger thing occurring here. And my life and my choices and my creations are in the context of that. And I'm part of the movement of the universe, part of the movement of consciousness into something far greater. And as I explore that, it's like there's a courageous relaxation that goes on in my world that contributes to the elegance of needless. And elegance is really an energy of minimal effort, maximum result. So adding these bits of energy in different places that just exponentialize things. And that only we can only really have that with creation if we really be the magic that we are as infinite beings, as different creatures on the planet that know something different is possible. The exploration of that is oftentimes really challenging. It requires us to be willing to be different. It requires us to trust ourselves, to know things that we know that we don't want to know that we know, and to really function in a completely different way than the rest of the world. And so it's definitely kind of a road less traveled in a lot of ways. And what is available to us as we start to reap the rewards and the benefits and the beauty of that path is something that I could never even put into words. It's a level of beauty and receiving and ease and relaxation and presence and peace that I think actually a lot of us really yearn for and don't know how to achieve it, because through the ways of the world, this reality, I will call it, there is no achieving that. It's a dead end. It's a dead end that is about limitation and form and structure and invalidation of you and your body and your being. So to have a space of magic, miraculousness with creation, receiving, peace, ease, joy, glory, needless, is definitely a choice for a different world, a different way of being, a different level of receiving, a different level of choice. And in that, we recognize how cared for we are. And if you are if you're cared for in a way that you can't even imagine, and you let that be your reality, and I don't mean by other people, although other people can be part of that, I mean by the universe and by yourself, the need for need goes away. And there's an artfulness and an elegance there that takes up space in your world, and you be it, you become it. And what the irony is that everything you desire is then available from that space, and ask and receive begins to be your reality. So on January 8th, 9th, and 10th, 2024, I am doing a 3-part Zoom series on the art and elegance of being needless. And this is a small keyhole view into what we will be exploring on those calls. You are invited. heathernichols.com/needless. And this series is also included in the Generative Business Pods, Engaging the Elementals, a 6-month journey into so much magic and miraculousness with creation and business and money. And that starts on January 22nd. So you are invited.